The air hung heavy and still, thick with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves. Rajesh, a seasoned tracker, felt an unfamiliar chill despite the oppressive humidity. He and his two companions, Vikram and Priya, were deep in the Sundarban jungle, far beyond the usual trails. They'd been hired to locate a rare medicinal plant, but a creeping dread had settled upon them since the previous night. It began subtly, whispers on the wind that weren't the rustling of leaves, shadows that moved even when there was no breeze. Then, the disappearance of their guide, a local man named Kumar, who had vanished without a trace while on watch. They found his torch, still lit, lying on the forest floor, but Kumar was gone. Now, as dusk bled into night, the jungle seemed to come alive with malevolent intent. The familiar calls of birds and insects were replaced by an eerie silence, broken only by the rapid pounding of their own hearts. Priya, usually so stoic, clutched her machete, her knuckles white. Vikram, ever the pragmatist, kept scanning the dense foliage, his eyes darting. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream tore through the silence. It was distant, yet incredibly clear. Kumar. Rajesh breathed, a sickening realization dawning on him. But the scream was too animalistic, too raw to be entirely human. They pressed on, drawn by an unseen force, or perhaps by a desperate hope that Kumar was still alive. The trees grew thicker, their branches intertwining like skeletal fingers. The ground became slick with an unknown, viscous substance. And then, they saw it. Hanging from a thick vine, suspended above a clearing, was a grotesque effigy. It was crudely fashioned from twigs and leaves, but undeniably in the shape of a human. And from its center, something dripped onto the forest floor, a dark, shimmering liquid. A guttural growl echoed from the surrounding darkness. Before they could react, a blur of movement erupted from the undergrowth. Vikram cried out as something unseen dragged him backwards. His screams quickly muffled. Priya screamed, raising her machete, but she was too slow. Rajesh stood frozen, watching in horror as the jungle itself seemed to swallow his friends. He saw fleeting glimpses, a flash of dark fur, an impossibly long limb, eyes that glowed with an unholy light. It wasn't an animal he knew, nor was it human. It was something ancient, something that belonged to the very fabric of this cursed forest. He turned and ran, blindly crashing through the undergrowth, the chilling growls and the fading screams of his friends echoing in his ears. He didn't know if he would escape, or if he would become another part of the jungle's macabre collection. All he knew was the relentless pursuit, the suffocating presence of something unspeakable, and the certainty that in this jungle, death wasn't the worst thing that could happen.